Hello, I wanted to do a video. This will be my long video to really explain in great detail the current state of the market as I see it and possible appraisal shortages if the market becomes a little bit more of a challenge. We've come through an incredible bull market, real estate values really spiking, incredibly limited inventory. And for the most part, I don't know about your experience, but I didn't really have a lot of appraisal issues. I had a few. I did some appraisal challenges. I won some, I lost some. Some we expected the appraisal to come in low, some we didn't. But it really wasn't a major problem. I would have expected a major problem on appraisal values when you're coming through a market where values are really going up an incredible amount month to month or certainly year over year. Market going forward, my take is I think real estate values are all about jobs. If you're in a good jobs market, a denser urban population center, especially in the DC, Maryland, and Virginia metro, we make a lot of money here. There's a lot of good jobs here. And I don't think because of that, I don't think that the market's going to go into some correction mode or crash. What's going to happen in the macro economy? What's going to happen in other parts of the country? I don't know. Maybe things will get worse like they did in 2008. But if you remember in 2008, we didn't do so poorly around here. And a lot of markets maybe they flattened out. Maybe that was the correction. Oh gosh, I spent XYZ on my home and 2 years later, it's still only worth that. Well, it's better than it going down, 20, 30% in value like some other markets in some other parts of the country did. So I think we can all say with a straight face, values should hold up even if there's something ugly coming down the line in our economy. I think we're somewhat insulated because we're just in this great jobs market. I've been doing this since 1986, and our local economy, Maryland, DC, and Virginia, has been pretty terrific. And I really haven't seen any major crashes. A few little things, maybe some, values needed to even out a little bit. Maybe there might be some areas or neighborhoods or individual homes that went up way too much and might give a little back. But what it leads me to think about is an appraisal shortage. Going forward, if the market levels off a little bit here, will we have more appraisal shortages or the same as we did before? Again, we just came through this incredible bull market and I didn't have a major problem, but will we going forward? Hopefully more inventory will come on the market. We'll have more sales. Maybe that means more comps. More comparables would be nice. But here's the point. If you run into a situation where an appraisal comes up short, loan officers should say, well, we can do an appraisal challenge. Well, what is that? I can tell you what it is not. Don't argue the appraiser got the square footage adjustment wrong. He only used $60 a square foot on this, or he missed this back. It's all a waste. It's really 1,000 to 1 shot that any of that is going to help. And a lot of times it's not accurate. I've had realtors tell me they missed a bathroom. Well, in what they call the gross living area, which is any square footage that's above grade, that's where they get your bathroom and your bedroom count from. If you've got anything that's even partially below grade, you might have a 1-bedroom, 1-bath in a basement. They don't count it in the GLA, the gross living area. They count it in the basement below grade area. It gets valued at a different amount. But I could go on and on. There's all kinds of things that are very specific to appraisals, and it's all codified. I think they call it ANSI, Appraisal National Standards Institute. So it's really hard for an appraiser to make a mistake because the appraisers are trained. Their work is reviewed when they turn it into us, and then our underwriter underwrites it. Certainly, if you think something is egregious, it's worth talking about, but for the most part, there isn't much missed. To challenge an appraisal, it really takes new comparables, preferably 3. Don't just send 1. It might help, but really preferably 3 is the rule. If you can show 3 new comps, and I'm hoping there'll be more and more comps because it seems like some more inventory is coming on the market. Maybe it's easier to find more comps that the appraiser didn't already use and argue, why not use this one? This one's in the same neighborhood. Square footage is the same. You really need to take a close look. Don't just do a zip code search or a neighborhood search and blizzard your loan officer with a dozen comps and think you're good. I've seen that way too many times. you almost need to do an appraisal. You need to look at square footage, overall square footage, bedroom count, bathroom count. If it's a home with a lot, it's a detached home with a lot. Look at the lot size. Look at the topography of the lot. Look at the curb appeal. Look at, has the home been renovated or not, and how do the comps stack up to that fact? You really have to go in and almost do an appraisal and say, look, here's 3 comps that we think are better or that you should have added, and here's why. And then you start to talk about bedrooms and bathrooms and finish and lot and parking and garage and off-street park, whatever it is. You really have to substantiate. There should be a narrative with each new comp about why you're using it. So that's just a little bit about how I see the market going forward this year. We'll see what happens going forward. I'll touch base more with more updates going into the year and next year. But I think we're okay. I think we're on sound footing. That's what I tell my buyers. If you want to buy a house, go buy a house. If you're going to wait, you're just going to pay more rent. Or if the house stays in the same value that it was today and you get it next year, what have you gained and what have you lost? You should have bought the house. If you think that a $800,000 property is going to be worth $600,000 in a year or two, if you really believe that, I guess you should wait. I don't believe it, and I really haven't seen it in our market ever in the past. If that's your belief, you should certainly feel free to act on it, but I don't believe that. So anyway, I just wanted to share some of my market thoughts and some good data on appraisal challenges. You really should be having lengthy communication with your loan officer and putting together a strategy and a narrative and a cover letter and a plan on how you can defeat this low appraisal. And then from there, you've done your best and you hope for the best from there and see how the appraiser responds. I hope that helps. Feel free to reach out to me with anything else related to appraisal values, the marketplace, interest rates, mortgage guideline questions, anything that I've talked about in this email or anything else. Always here to help. And I hope these videos have helped you too. Thank you.